Good evening, viewers. Welcome back to another episode of FitzRupee Cast featuring Dawn of War 2 Red-Rupee. Today we've got a fierce 2-on-2 match here on Desert Showdown, the nighttime desert map, featuring a battle between these two desert strongholds. Here right now we're looking at the center VP and this infamous center garrison here on this very map. And let's dive right into it. Just introduce our players here. Mr. Toilailee as our Tech Marine for the red team. Normally he's playing Imperial Guard, but today going for the more elite Space Marine army. And Mr. Pottah, Mr. HarrehPottah, going for the Lord General. On the blue side, we have Nebukatnezzar playing the tricky teleporting Warp Spider Exarch for the Eldar army, and GuruSkippy, also tricky, but in the more stealth aspect, the Commando Knob for the Orcs. So let's go ahead, get this rolling. 4 ranged commanders. Everybody's ranged today. The blue team has these more kind of subversive, tricky, teleporting stealth interruption heroes, while the red team's got these big defensive, strong range. Probably going to be seeing lots of emplacements from them as this game gets started. So let's see. We've got double shooters on the field for GuruSkippy coming around both sides, trying to get that VP right out of the gate. These natural VPs are literally right in front of the respective sides outpost right here, so you can see that's pretty much the priority. You run out, capture those initial VPs, and just try to hold them for a while. And then we have the power nodes over here and here, both again right in front of the respective sides' bases. So these 2 points on the end tend to just kind of hang out. There's a lot of back and forth in the beginning of the map, and then as you progress further into the game, you'll see everything kind of come together on this center VP.
Adding warp generator.
So right now, Pottah's got himself a Sentinel on the field, while Nebukatnezzar goes ahead and gets the decap on that initial VP. Pottah trying to get a harass, really just putting GuruSkippy right on the defensive in front of his own base right here, trying to keep him locked down while he uses his other forces to go ahead and get these rear requisition points up and things like that. So Sentinel had to fall back, took quite a bit of shooter fire there. You can see the big shooters already upgrading for Mr. GuruSkippy. Banshees gain control of the center point. Blue team has a quick triple cap already, really putting on that pressure. Meanwhile, Scouts and Tech Marine trying to take back these 2 VPs on this side. Warp Spider jumping around, taking some shots at the Scouts, deterring them from getting that center VP even decapped a little bit. Meanwhile, big shooters and sluggers moving in on this center power node. They already have a generator up, so if they hop over there, that's probably going to be an early loss there for the red team as far as resources go. 2 generators down on the natural for blue, full farm up for red on their natural power.
Generator operational.
Shooters getting pushed back right now. Lots of blobbing happening up right here. Orcs over here, a squad of Guardians as well, trying to do some quick damage to this power. Banshee's trying to buy some time over here. Oh, and looks like Toilailee plays right into his hand, gets closer. Oh, but a bionic swing right there, knocking all those Banshees to the ground. Those Banshees ran back here as the attacks closed in. They came back around the corner, but the Tech Marine was leading the charge and ready for him. Forced him right off the map. Good play by Toilailee.
The destruction is complete.
In the meantime, this center power does go down for the red team. Shuriken up over here protecting the power farm of the blue team right here. Guardians losing a couple models there on retreat. Looks like just 1 actually. Warp Spider getting dangerously low. He has to teleport out of there. Instead, he just decides to retreat. Shuriken repositioning to deal with these pesky scouts. On the other side of the map, we can see Mr. Pottah pushing back the Orc forces once again, getting the decap on the VP. Probably even going to capture it right there and bring in Catechins onto the field. So first tech for Toilailee, we've got Assault Marines coming out. Nebukatnezzar going for the one of everything build here for the Eldar forces. Nice looking explosive right in the retreat path, takes out a few sluggers, and there's orc bits going everywhere. Again, the triple cap going the opposite direction. Sneaky Commando Knob getting the decap over there. And let's see how the Eldar army is doing on this side of the map. GuruSkippy getting himself some looters, which you don't see very often. Assault Marines jumping in on the Rangers. That's probably exactly what Nebukatnezzar wants, though. Although the Banshees are a little low on health, so choosing not to engage right there. Losing a couple Rangers to those Assault Marines despite retreating almost immediately. And those Banshees aren't going to be able to stand up to all that fire, plus the assaults on their own. So he really needed that Shuriken over there, but it's busy capturing the VP. Probably would have been more useful to keep that back here and maybe have used that to win that engagement. We'll have to see how that plays out. VPs are pretty even so far, so you don't really have to be stressing them too much right now. And blue team has both the outside VPs, center VP belonging to the red team. Shotgun Scouts knocking that Shuriken back. It's going to get set up, though, and actually decides to retreat. It probably could have gotten set up and forced those Scouts off without taking really any losses, but we'll see how that works out. In the meantime, Tech Marine trying to get a Bionic Swing on those Shooter Boys, but has to fall back instead. Shooter's fully upgraded for Mr. GuruSkippy. Let's see if the other squad is as well. Just one Knob so far, but both has big shooters. Sentinel being pesky, getting the decap on that VP. Catechin's going to be taking lots of fire right here. Have to be very careful with them as they are very expensive to reinforce. Lord General gets in on the Ludus before it sets up and gets any suppression laid down on the field. And those shooters are in a bit of trouble now with this Sentinel coming in. Although that Sentinel is going to have to be very careful. Oh, manages to get both squads on that stomp. Wow, I didn't expect that both of them were in range. I was going to say the Sentinel was going to be in a predicament with both of those shooter squads right there and the Commando Knob, but sounds like it's going to be doing okay. In the meantime, down bottom, Shuriken getting set up. Assault Marines have no energy. They're going to have to get out of there. Probably going to lose a model, at least one or two, to these Banshees and the Rangers right there. One goes down. Tech Marine knocks the Warp Spider away, and he's going to have to retreat as well. So managed to get out of there with just one Assault Marine loss for Mr. Toilailee, and both of the red team are heading into Tier 2. Blue team can go as well, but they're kind of letting that slip up a little bit. They need to make sure they keep up in tech. There they go, just as I mentioned it. And the VP's still pretty even up, 398 to 406. Really anybody's game, no major losses, both sides playing pretty good, a lot of back and forth so far. No real loss of power farms, anything like that. You can see both teams have full farms up on both of their power nodes right here. VP's just been transferring hands throughout the game so far. GuruSkippy bringing out the Sluggers, the Cap not bothering to reinforce them right yet. All the players really have quite a bit of wreck hanging around. Toilailee just lost quite a bit. I'm not sure what he purchased. Probably made some sort of Tier 2 purchase right there. Oh man, good play. Pottah forces off those Sluggers. They were trying to get a sneaky cap while being unmanned, or undermanned rather. But Lord General came and saw to that. The Submarines jumping in on a lone Guardian squad, forcing them off the map, while Nebukatnezzar focuses down here on the power side, trying to make sure none of these generators go down.
The enemy is claiming a
Been playing pretty well with the Rangers and Shuriken. This one of everything build can be very pesky. Playing against that is Space Marine. Rangers constantly picking away your forces. And of course, that quick Shuriken always is a hassle, even with Assault Space Marine. Shuriken taking up residence inside of that garrison right there. Took out a scout as an Exarch comes onto the field. Sarge on the field as well for the Assault Space Marines. Nice knockdown from the Rangers, using that kinetic shot to open the door for these Banshees to move in here. They just run right past, suppress everything, dodge the merciless strike, and they could have turned around and engaged there really well. So good play by Nebukatnezzar, took no losses to the Banshees there, forced off the entire Space Marine army. Of course, they're going to pop right back out. Razorback transport now onto the field. Nebukatnezzar doesn't really have anything to deal with that right now. Purchasing a Falcon, that'll be a good deterrent for that Razorback, as the Falcon does hurt the Razorback, and the Razorback doesn't really do anything to vehicles itself. So it looks like a Manicore's on the field. Oh, and that garrison did not work out very well. Getting blasted down. One round of artillery makes short work of that Shuriken cannon. Weird Boy on the field for Mr. GuruSkippy. We're going to have to see what he's up to while that Razorback chases around those Banshees. Choosing not to engage those Catechins. Those Catachans actually do pretty decent against Banshees and melee. With the support of that Razorback, they probably lose that fight. And now everything focusing down, trying to get some hits in on that Sentinel. But Weird Boy looks like he was set to melee mode. He wasn't really firing his long range shots at all, was trying to punch that Sentinel down with his staff there. Nice looking stun grenade on those Catachan Devils. Meanwhile, Lord General tanking away at all this range damage. Trying to get in range just long enough to fire that Manticore barrage. Doesn't really do too much, but forces the Orcs back and buys some time for the Catachans to grab that victory point. In the meantime, we're finally seeing a little bit of a gen bash, but they're not going to be able to hold long right here with this Falcon pouring fire into it. I figured that they probably would want to try to focus down that Razorback more than the infantry. But they all hop in and roll out after taking out one quick generator. 2-1 cap rather for the red team right now. Blue team capping back everything as I'm speaking. Something on all 3 VPs. Warspider has his power blades now, but probably not going to be able to take out those Assault Marines on his own. Has to teleport out. Got the decap though, and these Rangers in a lot of trouble. They need to retreat right now. Oh, but it's too late. Rangers down. Razorbacks showed up, unloaded a bunch of Space Marines, and they just let those Rangers have it. So that's one distraction out of Toilaillee's hair right there. Doesn't have to worry about that constant wreck bleed from losing models to Rangers.
Where are we needed?
So Warpspire's coming onto the field. That might spell doom for this Razorback if Toilailee's not careful with that. The Falcon, Banshees, and the Warpspider Haywire Grenade could make short work of that transport, so he's going to have to play very defensively with that. Orcs now moving in on the Space Marine force. They're taking out a couple generators with rocket launchers and the support of that Tech Marine. Eldar also moving in. It looks like it could be a trap here waiting to be sprung. Warspire's teleporting in. Nice looking Merciless Strike. Makes all the Shooter Boys retreat. They didn't have to retreat right there. That truck was in range. They could have fallen back and gotten reinforced from that truck. Banshee's now coming in with the support of the Falcon. Oh, Weird Boy knocks them all over. They did manage to take out one of those Assault Marines. Might have gotten another though, had that Weird Boy shot not knocked them on their back. Bionic Strike was already used. There goes a Scout Grenade trying to take out a couple of those Banshees. It does connect and drop 2 of them. A couple Scouts go down over here, and just 3-0 cap. Red team ahead by about 100 VPs now, really taking control of the field now in these past couple engagements. Pottah dropping a heavy turret right in front of Mr. GuruSkippy's base over here, and also using that sniper rifle so he can increase the range of all his troops and really just start pouring fire right into GuruSkippy's base. Just some nasty, mean play over here on this side, keeping GuruSkippy locked down as long as he can. Here comes an Altark drop over here on top of that Razorback. Doesn't hit any infantry, does a little damage to the Razorback. That Falcon needs to be careful, as with the sticky melt-a-bomb right there, and then rocket launchers hot on its tail. It's going to be in a lot of trouble if those tactical Marines get one more shot off, and it looks like they're going to be able to get in range to do so. It's trying desperately to get away, and there goes the rocket, and down goes the Falcon. Even if that rocket hadn't connected, the power sword of that Assault Space Marine Sergeant probably would have finished it off on its own. So there goes the transport. Toilailee's Razorback's still up, so Nebuchadnezzar's going to be on a bit of the back foot here. Those tactical Marines trying to finish off and get a rocket shot on that last generator, but it looks like the Weird Boy's actually going to help out with that a little bit. Warspider getting a couple extra shots in while the squad regrouped and then retreated. But the Warspider's actually very low. Nice looking shot from the... Oh man, Tankbuster Barrage takes it out. Razorback had to fall back instead of pursuing that Warspider to finish him off, and he actually, if he had moved forward, he may have been able to take it out and then swing around this way. But a nice looking surprise attack from those Tankbusters finished off and kind of evened things out over here on this side of the map. So it looks like that turret went down. Pottah's building another one, not even hesitating to keep that constant harassment going on right in front of GuruSkippy's base. Dropping an old reliable on those Luda boys. Tank Buster's again gonna just take that turret out. The turrets, of course, actually have vehicle armor. They're not buildings, so you can't really take them out with flamers or anything like that. You need anti-vehicle to drop those Lord General heavy turrets off the map. And, oh man, Manticore strikes, artillery barrages, everything. Pottah just playing mean and dirty. Doesn't even care, dropping a second turret. Oh man, that is just brutal. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, Autark jumping in. Guardians getting forced off by Assault Space Marines. Autark trying to pick off a couple tacticals here, but not quite pulling it off. Nebukatnezzar getting forced off the map again. 181 to 340. Red team, they really need to just cap this point right here real quick while they have the opportunity. Banshee charging in, gonna get stomped though. Luda's actually getting upgraded with a beamy death gun, if nothing else, just to help get rid of these infernal turrets. Banshee's now going to start hacking away at the turrets as well. Meanwhile, taking some fire. Warp Spider takes out one. Beamy Luda takes out another. Manticore tries to get out a couple of those Banshees, but in the meantime, Toilailee's taken both of the left points right here, the center and westmost point, and has brought a Predator onto the field. Everybody's tier 3 except Pottah right now. Warp Spider's trying to get this point, but it's going to cost them a lot of attrition if they stay there to try to get the cap. Blue team's just trying to prevent the lead any more than they can because they're already down by over 150 points. They don't really want to let the gap get any further than that at this stage in the game. Knob's on the field, though, coming in with a vengeance, wanting to take out this Tech Marine. He's going to try to hop in that building, but thinks better of it. If that Knob gets one more swing... Oh, man, he's so low. 20 HP. He goes down. There we go. Autark got that last swing and finished him off. Predator hesitating to move in there with those Knobs, and Beanie Death Gun over there as well. Commando Knob also getting himself a rocket launcher to help deal with those vehicles. Nice looking shotgun blast, knocking those Knobs down. Commando does fall though right next to the Tech Marine, which he just took out moments before. 170 to 326. These VPs have just, they've been changing hands, but they've been staying neutral, so not much change in the VPs here. Just a constant, intense game here, back and forth. Manticore strike on the Beamy Ludas. Actually didn't hit them too hard. Oh, and as I say that, the last two rockets hit dead on. There goes the refractor field on that Lord General, but that's not going to prevent any of that melee damage. It only prevents ranged. All of his retinue falls right there. That's a bit costly. And, oh man, Warp Spider just narrowly evading death. Meanwhile, Warp Spider's squad pouring fire into those scouts, trying to prevent them from repairing that Predator up to full. Warp Spider was going to try to res, it looks like, but didn't want to risk taking that final tank shell that would have finished him off.
We are losing a requisition point to the
Autark chasing that Manticore down, but has to fall back. Really need to get that Manticore off the field. It would help them a lot to not have to worry about that artillery barrage. Knops Bob's in frenzy to capture this VP and try to pick off a couple, but they lose a member. The Stray was kind of way out here and taking all the fire of everything from the back.
The enemy has targeted us.
And if I were to guess, oh man, Weird Boy up in the garrison. Don't see that very often. Poured a nice shot right into those Marines, and then another one into the Assault Space Marines, but has to get out of there. Pottah's Manticore, or sorry, Pottah's Sentinel still on the field in level 3. You can see just how pesky that that Sentinel can be when it stays on the field this late, because those constant rocket barrages, especially against the high model count Orc and Eldar infantry, really eating away there. So this alliance of Imperial Guard troops and elite Space Marines facing off against two Xenos here, proving pretty effective. Tech Marine trying to lock down that center VP and finish this out. Has the Predator, has his turret up. You get the late game, the Terminator's on the field. This starts to become a very tough position to break right now. And really, once you get to this late stage in the game, you can really just focus on this side of the map and kind of ignore the rest, because this is where the VPs are, and that's ultimately what you need to win the game. Commandos on the field sneaking around. Lots of stuff coming in here on the Imperial Guard forces. Manticore strike coming in. Oh, right in the middle of all the Eldar. They actually didn't have to retreat there. Only took one rocket, but that Manticore, when the first rocket hits, that's intimidating enough to hit that retreat button and try to make sure you don't take too much damage from any additional rocket strikes. Oh no, Weird Boy actually finishes off those own knobs, but then hurls them over there. Gotta be careful with those Ludas inside of this building. Oh no, an Old Reliable just barely misses and leaves them with 22 HP. A grenade goes down and the Autarch goes down. And that's a Fire Prism Blast we're seeing over there. Long-range artillery tank on the field might actually be very useful in helping break this position. This garrison in the center actually looking pretty rough. I don't think it's too safe to hit in there any longer. Warp Spider running around with his Power Blaze, but still not able to deal with those Assault Space Marines on his own. This Fire Prism, I think, needs to be taking some pot shots at this Space Marine position right here. But with all this firepower, Catechins, the tank, turret, and everything else, just a big pile of Space Marines and Imperial Guard. Should really be using that widespread beam if he's going to be hitting the infantry right now. But keeping on the focus beam. Watch out, that Predator is moving in on the Fire Prism. War Spiders come in, drop the Haywire Grenade. That Predator could be in trouble. It's going to fall back. That Fire Prism needs to be targeting that Predator and finishing it off. One more shot. Nice shotgun blast. Commando's taking lots of fire, though. Predator very low. If that Fire Prism can get one last shot, look at the range on that. Takes out the Predator. Excellent play. And that's what they need to do. They need to pick away at that position, but they don't have much time. They're going to need to break it soon, because with only 100 VPs left, there's not much they can do other than really try to make sure they can push this center VP back. They can keep going back and forth with these ancillary points on the side there, but really you want to be able to take down and lock down one of the points, and obviously the center VP is the easiest one to do so. So Toilailee bringing a Devastator onto the field as well. Lots of stuff just hanging out in the center here.
Allied units ahead.
Fire Prism again starting to take some pot shots. That Focus Beam actually very effective against the Terminators. Hits them pretty hard. Knobs charging onto the field, but they really need to make sure they're using that Frenzy to get in on this turret, because otherwise, yeah, they're just going to get stuck and suppressed. Oh man, a couple Knobs go down right there. Used over there to try to get those Knobs out of trouble, but a couple of them still got out there. And oh man, look at the angle on that turret. That was perfect to prevent those Banshees. Those Banshees needed to go a little further back. But even if they had gone around behind that turret, that was way too much firepower for them to be moving in on their own. 65 to 313. It's not looking good at all for the blue team. D-Cannon on the field now. Well-placed Singularity could really force most of this infantry off of the field if he can land it well enough. Everybody's looking like they're on the verge, both of the blue team on the verge of having a global nuke there. So we'll probably be seeing an Eldritch Storm and good old Orc Rocks. This pile's just begging to be Rocks there. If they can get a Rocks and then maybe a Singularity or some kind of combination like that, could be brutal. Kind of dying to see that infamous phase shift Singularity. There's a Singularity right there. I'm not sure if they saw it. Oh, and pulls in all kinds of infantry. Look at the bits everywhere. That was pretty rough. Orc tank on the field as well. Lots of Eldar infantry going down there, but they got in their own hits as well. Looks like we're going to have a repair bunker and a reinforcement point going on. The red team is just going to lock this down and refuse to let it go. Here comes an Eldritch Storm. It looks like that Singularity just goes off, so here comes the Eldritch Storm. Hits that Devastator right on, but oh man, and the tank finishes it off. Hits that last member with a shot from that. Those Terminators actually getting pretty low on HP. They either need to hang out by that reinforced beacon or head back to base. One member goes down. That's going to be costly. Bunker's up. I'm not sure. Yes, it is a repair bunker. And everything just hanging out over here. That Tarantula turret's in trouble. Orc's getting tossed in there. Knob's right in the thick of it now. Commando Knob as well with his rocket launcher. pouring some rockets into that pile there. Orc tank firing shells into everything. Those knobs just not quite supported enough to stay in there. 40 to 306. Blue team's doing a good job of preventing that VP from going down. A nice boom shot from the tank, and then a singularity as well. Not sure if those assault marines are going to get out of there in time. Oh man, the Sarge is still standing. Manticore barrage going off somewhere, trying to take out the tank and the D-cannon over here. But a second D-cannon's already up. Both sides just trying to lock down and put as much rear artillery support as they can here. Red team really just putting up buildings and reinforce points, while the blue team over here using armor and artillery to just prevent the red team from getting anything. 3 tactical marines go down there in one blast. Looks like the last one is going to be able to retreat just barely. Terminator's now taking the brunt of... Oh man! D-cannon fires at the last second to finish off that tac squad. Terminator's not going to be able to stick around very long. They're very low. They need to get out of there right now. If they've got a teleport, they need to use it. 100 HP. One more shot of any of those vehicles or artillery is going to finish them off. There goes the Terminator squad. An orbital bombardment going down on center, trying to prevent that decap. And the rocks right in the middle of the entire red army. Oh, Manticore down. Oh, reinforcement point down. Catachans just barely escape. Everything's trying to retreat, but it can't because it's all retreating to the reinforcement beacon. Oh man, Toilailee has nothing left but a squad of assault Terminators. And there goes the reinforcement beacon. Oh, I mean, in team games, that's always what you see. If one side is just bunched up and orcs are in the game, that rocks is going to make you regret it. Oh, that was brutal. Suddenly, the blue team just turns this right around in the matter of just a couple engagements, and that rocks. Warspider gonna get the decap over there. Still anyone's game. The red team has a bit of time to try to bring this back, but they're gonna. All they need to do is lead off 30 VPs right here. Warspider barely escaping. Toilailee getting a Predator on the field. Gonna try to start rebuilding that Space Marine force. But after losing tac scouts, his Terminators, and really everything he had on the field, both of the buildings he had built with his Tech Marine, it's not looking too good for him. Blue team still has full contingents for both the Eldar and Orc forces. Orcs actually bringing a squad of stick bombers onto the field as well. A Lemon Rust tank over here supporting the Catachan Devils, but Commandos are laying in wait, dropping the Burner Bomb, and probably going to hit the Daka Daka. But the Catachan Devils managed to move out of there just in time, not taking too much damage from that Burner Bomb, and we'll be able to hang out and finish that off. Pottah dropping 2 more turrets over here once again. In the meantime, Banshee's facing off against the Assault Space Marines. Banshee's level 4 now, though, and causing some serious damage at this point to any Space Marines they encounter. And man, look at Pottah just hanging out right once again. Oh no, there goes the Ludas finally. Commandos over here taking lots of fire. Pottah's going to try to eliminate those turrets and then just smash GuruSkippy whenever he has to come back to base. Unfortunately, those knobs aren't going to have it. Orc tank coming in as well, and with the help of those rocket launcher on that commando knob, those turrets are going to go down pretty quickly. That Lemon Rust is also in a lot of trouble. Knob's taking lots of fire. They're going to retreat back to base. The Catachans need to be very careful, though. Another shot or 2 from that tank, and that's going to be it for them. Oh, there goes a creeping barrage. Pottah trying to do what he can to do some more damage to these orcs. That orc tank is going to go down, it looks like, though. Not quite going to finish off that Lemon Rust. Oh, but a nice shot from the Beamy Def Gun. Takes it out. That tank's got 11 HP left. I can't believe it survived. Along with that Sentinel with 100 HP. Both of these vehicles just barely staying on the field, man. Oh, that was an intense little battle over there, but it looks like blue team again pulling ahead. Closing that gap has the red team now down to 200 points. And it looks like they're going to be able to get all three of those VPs back into their hands. tank already down again. Toilailee building a third Predator. I'm not sure what happened to this one over here. I missed it during that Orc and Imperial Guard engagement over there in front of GuruSkippy's base. But it's already down again. Predator's not necessarily going to do too much at this point with D-cannons, 2 D-cannons, fire prisms, and a haywire grenade ready to go off at any given time. There's nothing on the field that Nebukatnezzar has right now that isn't a threat to that Predator. And there goes the Wolf Spider going into melee with those power blades. Another shot from that D-cannon. It might get it off. Oh, there it goes! Predator down instantly again. Oh man, Toilailee is just has his face in his palms right now. All he's got left is his Tech Marine against an entire Eldar force. Oh, is this another Eldritch Storm over here? Really trying to make sure that the red team doesn't get a chance to bring this back. Red team down to 100 VPs.
We trust in your guidance.
And the blue team's just kind of hanging out, fixing up, shoring up its defenses right here. Bringing a second fire prism onto the field. I think the blue team's got this, man. There goes Pottah shouting out to all his buddies right there, if you didn't see that. Good player, knows a badass game when he sees it, and when he's playing it, knows that this was going to be on game replays, and I guess knew that it was going to get casted. 30-89, and man, this is just a hell of a turnaround from the blue team. A couple engagements, Tech Marine going down, Librarian looks like he's gonna go down too, gets knocked down by those Banshees a couple times, and the red team's just doing whatever it can. Another creeping barrage going on, just to do what they can to hurt whatever forces they had left. And there goes the surrender from the red team. Wow, I thought the red team had that, and blue team brought it back. Look at this battlefield. All of the VPs just covered in craters. Just a scolding, smoldering wasteland over here. Look at this. I don't know. Pottah probably had 5 turrets over here. But blue team brings it back with some excellent play at the end. Some very good artillery usage and just shut down that excellent emplacement. Really just a big barricade from the red team. Obliterated in just a few quick moments. Man, I just love a good rocks. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Wow, that was an intense last few minutes of the game. This is Red-Rupee. I will catch you guys next time.